A virgin CEO wakes up naked in the arms of her employee. What happens next shocks the company. It was 5:37 a.m. when Elena Voss jolted awake, heart pounding, breath shallow, skin slick with cold sweat. Sunlight slanted through the floor-to-ceiling windows of her downtown penthouse, illuminating the impossible. Her bare arms wrapped around a man she barely knew, Marcus Cole, a quiet maintenance engineer from Voss Enterprises. Panic exploded in her chest. She scrambled backward, clutching the sheets to her body, her mind racing through worst-case scenarios. Had they? Was it real? Her reputation, the company, the board meeting just days away. One wrong move, one leaked photo, and everything she'd built from the ground up, after her father's death, through sleepless nights and ruthless investors, could vanish in a scandal. But then Marcus stirred. He opened his eyes, calm, steady, confused. "Ms. Voss?" he said gently, sitting up without hesitation. "You passed out in your office last night. I tried to call for help, but you kept saying not to. You were shaking, feverish, so I helped you upstairs. You fell asleep the second your head hit the pillow." Elena stared at him, her CEO armor cracking under the weight of exhaustion and shame. She remembered now, collapsing at her desk after learning her CFO had embezzled millions, tanking their biggest investor deal. The room spinning. Marcus's voice, soft but firm. "Let me help you." There had been no kiss, no betrayal, just kindness, quiet, unassuming, human. But in the world of corporate corridors and gossip chains, truth rarely travels faster than rumor. By 9 a.m., whispers slithered through Voss Enterprises like smoke. "Did you hear? The CEO and that janitor. She's lost control. Maybe that's why the CFO fled." Elena walked into the office feeling like glass, fragile, transparent, one crack from shattering. She avoided Marcus all day, not out of anger, but fear. Fear that trusting him, or anyone, would be seen as weakness. Fear that the moment she showed vulnerability, the wolves would close in. But Marcus didn't flinch. He stayed quiet, professional, doing his rounds as always, fixing flickering lights, recalibrating servers, unnoticed, until the board meeting. The room was icy. Investors sat stone-faced. The CFO's betrayal had cost them $12 million. Some board members pushed for Elena's resignation. "She's too young," one muttered, "too emotional." Then, just as the vote was called, Marcus stepped through the door. Security moved to block him, but Elena, stunned, waved them off. "I'm not here to cause trouble," Marcus said, voice low but clear. "I'm here because no one else saw it." He pulled a tablet from his work bag and projected a systems log onto the screen. While everyone focused on finance, the real leak was in our cybersecurity backend. The CFO didn't just steal money. He planted malware that would have wiped our entire client database by Friday. A hush fell over the room. "I've been patching it in the background for weeks, didn't want to overstep, but it's fixed now, and I've secured every entry point." Silence. Then applause. Not thunderous, but real, respectful. Elena looked at Marcus, really looked at him, not as an employee, but as a man who'd carried her when she couldn't stand, who'd saved her company without asking for credit. In that moment, something inside her broke open, not with fear, but with humility. Later that evening, she found him packing his tools in the basement server room. "Why didn't you tell me?" she asked softly. He shrugged. "I figured you had enough on your plate, and honestly, Ms. Voss, I didn't think you'd listen. People like me, we're invisible until something breaks." Tears pricked her eyes. "You're not invisible, Marcus. Not to me. Not anymore." The next month, Elena did something unprecedented. She created a new leadership council, one that included voices from every level of the company, including Marcus. She launched a Seen and Heard initiative, ensuring frontline employees had direct access to decision-makers. Profits rebounded, not just from saved revenue, but from restored morale, loyalty, and trust. The morning in the penthouse was never spoken of again. No scandal emerged, only transformation. Because sometimes the moments that feel like the end are really just the beginning. True leadership isn't about never falling, it's about who helps you up and whether you have the humility to let them. If this story moved you, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet heroes among us, please like, share, and subscribe to ACA Story Tales. Your support helps us bring more stories of hope, humanity, and heart to people around the world. Because in a world that often chooses profit over people, we choose both. Thanks for watching.